All right. So Canada has done it. Davis Cup champions in 2022. It's pretty unbelievable because the Davis Cup is basically one of the oldest championships in the tennis world. Canada first competed in 1913. So for like 109 years or something like that, we've been trying to win this title, and they've just done it. With Felix Auger-Aliassime leading the way, Denis Shapovalov playing second fiddle with Vasek Pospisil as well. Amazing team effort, crazy run through the year. There's a lot of controversy with the Davis Cup, even Canada's participation in the final. So we'll get into this, get into what it means, get into the team, some funny things that happened in the press conference afterward, and just celebrate the fact that Canada right now is on top of the tennis world. So here's the slice. Let's get into it. Oh, Canada is right. Davis Cup champions. What do you say about it? I mean, you guys got to give it to these guys. Like, we had a great team coming in. Everyone knew that, Canada had a great chance to do this thing with the team that we had. Felix and Chapo coming in, just an amazing 1-2 punch. But it's still tough. It's very tough to get through all the way like they did. So we're just going to take a look at how they did it. And like I said, just kind of celebrate what went down and just talk a little bit about the controversy surrounding Davis Cup, and then ask, like, what's next for Canada? Is it just a men's major championship? That's what you kind of got to think. So anyways, thanks to our sponsor, BetStamp. If you are a bettor and you bet on tennis, use BetStamp to get the best odds for the bet you're going to make anyways. It's called line shopping for the best odds, and you should be doing it. So hit the link below and use our code. And shout out to BetStamp for being a great presenting sponsor through this fall swing, all the way to another Canadian great moment, which is winning the Davis Cup. Are you kidding me? So they go through, they went through Germany, Italy, and then Australia in the final. Australia has won the Davis Cup, I think, 28 times. Canada is 0. Italy's definitely won it sometimes or a few times. And Canada, coming into this tournament, you looked at the other teams, and there was no like Serbia there with Djokovic. There was no Spain didn't have Rafa or I don't even know if they had Carlos, and they lost earlier. So there was a little bit of a star power lacking there. But even if there wasn't, the main thing that you can look at when you see the team that Canada was able to put forward was the 1-2 punch, like I said, of Felix and Shapovalov. You got Felix, who can beat anyone in the world right now. He's proven that. He's number 6 player in the world, and he was, other than Djokovic, the hottest player, most dominant player after the US Open in 2022. And as a second string player, Shapovalov is just an amazingly potent player. Really top 15 level skill, and he's been playing well. So when you look at that combo, you go, these guys can, and then Vasek Pospisil as well, who's great in doubles, as he showed. They just can really compete with anyone, no matter what team got put forward. And we are all hyping, us Canadians, me being Canadian, we are hyping up the team. We said, they honestly, if you look at all the teams, they're maybe the favorite to win the Davis Cup at the beginning of this, and they obviously did. But they could have lost Germany and Italy, and then they kind of rolled Australia, which was great. But they literally almost went out in the first round or the quarterfinals, and almost went out in the semifinals, and then made it through in the finals pretty solidly. But if we go back to Germany, Denis loses to Jan-Lennard Struff in the first match, which is not a great result for Denis. Like, that's a match he probably should be winning, right? So he takes a tough loss there. Struff, he's dangerous. He can play well, obviously. And I'm just going to pull up the full draw here of the tournament. But Struff can play very well, like he did. And then Felix had to come in and kind of pick up the slack, and he was able to do that. Felix came in and won his singles match, putting him into a doubles. But then the doubles got super tricky as well, because they had, Germany has a great team with double specialists on it, and Canada went with Shapovalov and Pospisil as the doubles, which is a great combo because they produced a lot of magic in 2019. And I asked Captain Frank Dancevich after the fact, it's like, did this magic that they produced in 2019 factor into your decision to play them today as the doubles? Because a lot of people thought, Felix and Vasek should have gone at it because, Felix is the higher ranked player. He said, yeah, it did. And then they just turned, they were losing that doubles match, and then they turned it around and just went sicko mode and just played amazing and really took it to the Germans, kind of just outpowering them and just not missing. So, but again, we were like a set away from losing and being out of the Davis Cup in the quarterfinals there, but that didn't happen, clearly. So then they move on, and we go then to play Italy, and same thing happens. Shapovalov loses to Sonego, which is, again, Sonego's a good player, but that's a tough loss for Shapovalov. I think it was an epic match. I actually wasn't able to see that. And then Felix again comes out, picks up the slack, wins his singles match, and then they go into a doubles. And this time it was Felix playing with Pospisil, and they get the win, and then they come in and play Australia. And finally, Shapovalov takes care of business, beats Kokkinakis. Felix beats Alex Demonauer fairly straightforwardly. And the biggest blunder in Canadian tennis history, Sportsnet, the broadcaster for the Davis Cup, who has the rights, literally had like a satellite glitch with 2 games to go left in the final match with Felix. And literally basically no one in Canada was able to see the final moment of Canada winning the Davis Cup, which is just like a tragedy in many ways and very sad, showing that, we have to prepare better, invest more in Davis Cup, and, we won it. We weren't able to watch it. So just super bad luck there, I think, for all of us, but I was able to pull it up and watch it on a different way. Anyways, it was an amazing moment for tennis in Canada. And as I said in an article I put out, the emotions in this country, like if you're not Canadian and you're watching this, Canada is, all the Canadian fans and tennis players here have been saying, we're a tennis nation, we're growing, and it's been pretty obvious that we're becoming more and more of a dominant force in world tennis, especially after Bianca won the 2019 US Open, but, with Milos Raonic and even Jeannie Bouchard, but then really with Felix and Dennis and Bianca and Layla coming up as these like really awesome stars, young stars, where like Canada's, everyone knows Canada's one of the best tennis nations, but then getting this title on top of it proves that the work, I think, that so many people have been putting in, like just playing on Davis Cup teams when we get crushed in like the qualifying groups, not even in the world groups or whatever, just brick by brick, building more tennis centers, more year-round tennis centers around the country. All of that work has kind of culminated now and been kind of proven worthy by this title. And now you can literally say we're world champs. We're on the top of the world. So very cool for Canada, very cool for tennis in Canada. Funny, the team, this is the team they're showing here. This was where they played in the qualifiers in Valencia, Spain, without Shapovalov. So Shapovalov joined this team of Felix, Gabriel Diallo from the right, Felix, Gabriel Diallo, Captain Frank Dancevich, and then Alexei Galarneau, and then Vasek Pospisil. So Shapovalov joins the team coming into the finals, and they're just a funny group of guys. Like, they have great camaraderie, and here's a little clip actually from the press conference where I asked them. I get a little bit patriotic. I go unprofessional. I start yelling in the press room, or the virtual press room, and I asked Gabe, or Alexei and Gabe, who are the 2 guys. They didn't play at all during the finals, but you would have seen them on the bench cheering like crazy. Like, the team event is really big in Davis Cup. And it's funny because I talked to them before the qualifiers, even like a couple of months ago, and they were, they're both rookies in 2022, excited to be on the team, and they got to watch this all happen. So I asked them about that, and it's really funny how they try and answer. So here it is. Hey guys, got 2 questions. First of all, LA, let's go. Amazing work today. Man. Let's go. First one is for Gabe and Alexei. How does it feel to be the good luck charms? I want to hear you guys talk. How does it feel to be the good luck charms joining this year? And what was it like to be, cheering this amazing victory on?
I'm gonna try to speak, but I think you have your answer. I think you have your answer right here. It's you leave it all out there, the voice, and just to be a part of this team. World champions and don't have a voice anymore. So I'll take a world. I tried.
And Gabe?
Well, I think like Alex said, we left it all on the bench. We have no more voice. We left it all on the bench, and no, just obviously super grateful to be a part of this team, and we're so proud of Vasek and Dennis for leaving their heart on the court, and the way they competed was just absolutely inspirational.
So that's hilarious to me. I love that line. We left it all on the bench. Both guys totally lost their voice from just like screaming for, hours on end, getting Canada over the line, getting Felix, Dennis, and Vasek over the line. And they did it as a team. And, we were talking about as well, they were obviously going to go and celebrate. And apparently they have like a 6 a.m. flight, or they had a 6 a.m. flight the next day, and they were going to party until the flight, not even go to sleep, which is very well deserved and sounds like a ton of fun. So, anyways, yeah, that's Team Canada, a great group of guys. You can't hate them, even if you're Australian. Look, you guys have won like 28 times the Davis Cup. I don't feel too bad for you. But to address a little bit of the Davis Cup controversy, because they used to, I don't even know what the total format was in the past, but I think it was where, there'd be like semifinals, countries would play each other in whatever the top ranked group's country was, and then the finals would be like a multiple day event where you'd play like one day you'd play like 2 singles and a doubles, and the next day you play another 2 singles and a doubles or something, and like you'd play anyways multiple days, multiple matches, and like the doubles would always be included. So one of the main critiques of this new format, which is like one tournament at the finals, where it's like quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, and it's all in one day. The format is 2 singles matches and a doubles, and there's best 2 out of 3. So if one team wins the first 2 singles matches like Canada did against Australia in the finals, the doubles doesn't even get to play. Which for the modern tennis fan, people don't really care about doubles. But the whole idea of the Davis Cup is that it was like a big team event, and it was really showing like which country had the most skill and depth when it came to tennis. So the argument is that, you could have the #1 doubles team in the world in your country, but if your singles players lose the first 2 matches, they don't even get the chance to play and to get points for the team. So I think that's kind of how Leighton Hewitt felt for Team Australia. He felt, they have a good doubles team, and they weren't able to like, make an impact on that final. And, he felt like that's an absolute shame. And a lot of people do. And, that's fair enough. I'm not a fan of shortening the format of tennis for the viewer. I think the viewers are the viewers and the fans are the fans. And I don't think that people don't care because of the format. That's my opinion. Secondly, there's also some controversy because Canada lost in like March in like the pre-qualifiers for the world group, basically, to Holland. They lost in the Davis Cup there. So they didn't make even the qualifiers to get into the ATP finals. But then they were awarded a wild card because Russia had to pull out because of the war. They invaded Ukraine. So Canada was let into the qualifiers because they were the highest ranked team to lose. So some people are like, how'd they even get in here? Well, it showed that we were worth the wild card because we ended up qualifying for the finals and then winning the finals. So I think I can put to bed any controversy about that. But the Davis Cup is controversial in a little bit of ways because it has this insanely good history, and it's been changed, and a lot of people would say mismanaged in the past. Some people would say it's a shell of what it was, but for what we saw out there, all the teams being there, the passion, desire to win it is as high as it gets for any individual competition. So it's still an amazing event, and for Canada to win it, like I said, is amazing for Canada. Dennis and Felix, together with friend of the show Ben Seguin, won the Junior Davis Cup like a number of years ago. I think it was like 2014 or 15. I'm not sure. Maybe it was like 16 actually, because they're so young. And now they've won the real big boy Davis Cup, which is just crazy as well. So amazing. Congrats to the whole team. Congrats to the Canadians. And thank you guys for watching. If you're a fan of another country, or if you're in another country, you can try and knock us off the perch at the top next year. And good luck to you with that, because we'll have the same team, I'm sure, trying to defend it. And maybe we'll just try and start some type of dynasty here going. But anyways, that's my recap on Canada winning the Davis Cup. Leave your thoughts down below. Check out the Monday Bagel newsletter. Check out the article I wrote. I'll leave a link to that below as well. And thank you guys for being here, clicking the links and all the stuff. 1 second. Also, I'm going to plug a product here. our new trucker hats. They've just dropped. You can see it. It's a fresh trucker hat. You can take the sticker off, obviously. But if you're just out there, having a chill hit on the tennis court, get a hat, support the show. Multiple colors available, and we'd appreciate it. So see you next time here on The Slice. Thanks for watching, and we'll get out some more content before the new year starts very shortly. See you guys soon. Bye.